Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Got Lucky on Raffle vodcast. I'm your host, Darren Oliver, and I have the lovely job of sharing some of the wonderful stories about some of the amazing competitions being hosted on Raffle. In these vodcasts, or podcasts for those with audio only, I chat to hosts and their lucky winners, as well as some of the wonderful charities and causes benefiting from their fantastic competitions. For those who don't know, Raffle is the platform for hosting and entering prize competitions online. It's safe, it's secure, and because it's impossible for draws to be fixed, it's trusted by millions. And the thing about raffles is, unlike auctions where only the person with the deepest pockets can win, a raffle ticket gives absolutely everyone a chance of winning, and often for no more than the price of a coffee. Over the years, we have had hosts use our platform to raffle off some incredible prizes, as well as raising hundreds of pounds for charities, and obviously also some fabulous winners. So my next guests are hosts of one of our wonderful raffles. Here we have James and Maureen Keane. Welcome. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
So can you tell us a little bit just about yourselves, first of all, where you live, a bit about your family?
Yes, I suppose, we're from Ireland, and we're on the southeast of Ireland in Wexford, and I suppose we have 5 kids, and that was the reason why we had to do what we had to get a bigger house, and I suppose that's basically why we had to do what we had to do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And what exactly was it that you raffled?
So we raffled a house, so it was a 3-bed semi-detached house, down, as I said, of the southeast. We raffled the house, yeah.
And is it sort of a big house, or how many rooms
has
it got?
It's got 4 bedrooms. Actually, it's a 4-bedroom house, a semi-detached house. Yeah, it was quite big. We've done a lot of work to it over the years, to make it our home. But I suppose as our circumstances have changed, we had to. It was just no longer big enough, no longer viable for us to stay in that house.
Right, and so instead of selling it, what made you decide to go down this route instead, to use Raffle?
I suppose as things got tighter in Ireland, so I suppose with COVID and I suppose with the downturn back in 2008, I suppose the valuation of our house was quite high at the time, and then it lost a lot of equity, so the equity wasn't there anymore. So by the time we paid off the mortgage and whatnot, we would have had very, very little to buy a new property, and the property that we had to buy would have to be much, much larger in order to incorporate everything, because we have a company as well that we run here in Ireland doing designs and bits and pieces like that. So we had to try and get something that was bigger and best suit the 7 of us now, and I suppose and the business as well. So that's the reason why we had to. And I suppose the values wasn't in the property, so we were always looking to sell the house and then try and buy something else with the rest of the money, but it just wasn't enough. We just couldn't afford it to do it that way. And then with last November, we went for a mortgage, and that was unfortunate. That was turned down, so we couldn't get a mortgage. And it's always to do with your dependents, of course, because as I said, Marie works at home. She minds the lads and runs the business from home as well. So it's just quite tight, and it's very, very hard to get a mortgage nowadays. Even back then it was, and so much so we were buying a second house. So therefore, your deposit had to be much larger, which we wouldn't have had either.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So how did you find Raffle and decide to go down that route instead?
We saw a couple of other couples from Ireland, I suppose, raffling off their homes. There was the barn in Kilkenny and the house in Waterford that raffled it off, and we just thought it would be a fun idea. And sure, if it didn't work, it didn't work. But if it did work, sure, it's kind of what we wanted in the end.
Fantastic. And so was it an easy thing to do? Did you just contact Raffle, on the website? How do you go about it?
Yeah, so basically, that was probably me, because I was kind of pushing it beforehand. I suppose Ray wasn't so phased starting off, but
you had to send me on the idea.
to get around it again. But I contacted the guys in Raffle just to get a bit back information, because I didn't fully understand it either. And yourself, raffles can be quite daunting for people even when they're buying tickets, and it's a huge thing to get across. For us,
it's genuine, I suppose,
because that's what you get. You always get the negative side of things. You always get, even when we launched it first, there was loads of people that were negative and saying, "Oh, it's a scam and it's this and it's that," and you have to try and build Raffle's reputation. We had a good reputation, but in Ireland, in Ireland, it wasn't a big thing at all. It's not even today. More so, there's loads of raffles in Ireland now in comparison to when we started first. There was only one house left. It wasn't the house in Waterford, I think, was left.
They just finished.
They just finished. So, and we just started ours, but now there's probably 10 raffles running currently at the moment for houses. So look, it was a novel idea, and I suppose, yeah, definitely we went into this completely blindsided, and we didn't know how it was going to go. But we just said we'd wing it and push it as hard as we can, but hard as we could. But it was like a third job. It was just the amount of work and effort you have to put into this. Like, I think people take it in and they say, oh, how well that the likes of the Barn Kilkenny went, and the likes of the house in Waterford and ourselves as well. I suppose we sold out in 45 days, which was a massive achievement. We had it up for 90. So to sell out in that kind of time scale was huge, but the work in the background was just, it was massive.
What sort of thing did you have to do then? Do you have to do a lot on sort of social media yourself to sort of promote it?
At this one.
Yeah, lots in the background on social media, and trying to get, people to share and keep sharing, and try to, talk good about the raffle and say, they bought their tickets. So I think, you go for it as well. Like, maybe you could win, and that kind of thing, I suppose, is the hardest thing to get people to do.
Mm-hmm. And how did you choose the charity? Because obviously some of the proceeds from the raffle have gone to a charity, haven't they? It wasn't all, for the house sale. And how did you choose this charity?
Yeah, we chose Cottage Autism Network. It's like a little community here in Wexford that kind of help with kids who have autism, and they support the families, and they kind of give loads of information and that kind of thing. And yeah, that's who we chose, because Kyle, our eldest son, has autism, and it was kind of, it was close to our hearts, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. And how did they feel about, did you approach them and tell them, this is what we're doing, we'd like to involve you? Or, were they involved all along?
Yeah, we told them at the start and asked, like, would they like to be put their name to it, I suppose, because it's a big thing, I suppose. And they were delighted. They were really kind of blown away. I don't think they realised how much that they were getting until they got the final check, I suppose, because 5% of the proceeds could have been any amount, any figure.
Yeah, exactly.
Until we sold out, they didn't really realise how big of an impact it was going to be for them as well.
So they must have been absolutely thrilled, because how much money did they receive in the end? Do you know?
Over 20,000, wasn't it?
Yeah, just over 20,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh gosh, so they must have been absolutely thrilled as women, as obviously, as well as the winner, who must have been thrilled as well. Because how much were your tickets? How much did you sell them for?
They were £10 each.
£10 each. Okay. Yeah. And do you know how many? Sorry, go on.
I think that was a massive factor as well, to try and get the price right, because, like, you have to try and get it in such a way that people don't, some people might not mind spending £10. The same as spending £10 on the lotto. Only your odds are much, much better. Mm-hmm. And then we had 40,000 tickets then.
Yeah. And do you know how many tickets the winner actually bought?
She bought three.
Oh, right. So it was £30, and she won a house.
Yeah,
30 quid.
Yeah. And that's what's great about it too. You give people such an opportunity. It's an amazing opportunity to give somebody, on the other side of it as well. Not only for us, because it was a huge opportunity for us to get out of where we were in order for us to buy somewhere else. But for something like that, was really, that's possibly saving for a mortgage, and it's it's a first time buyer, and it's it gets really it's a dream come true. It's a dream come true. Yeah,
absolutely. Sorry, my dog just barked. Did you hear that? You couldn't just say that bit again, could you? Sorry about that.
It was a massive opportunity for the winner, and of course a massive opportunity for ourselves as well, to to put us in a great position, because now we are in an amazing position, I suppose, and so is the winner as well. She has a house that she spent £30 on. And that's basically it. And she walks in, hangs up her jacket, and that's it. It's great.
It's fabulous, isn't it? Have you any idea? Are you in contact with her? Do you know what her ideas for it are? Has she moved in, or is she, do you know any sort of?
No, not sure at all what she's doing with it. No, we haven't been in close contact since the raffle, since everything went through on the legal side of things. Once all that went through, we hadn't been in contact. But we were in contact before that, and she had visited the house a number of times, and she met all the children and met Mairead as well. So we were close up until the end, I suppose. But now, once the deal's gone through, we haven't been really in contact.
Yeah. And on the sort of the legal side of things, we have the corporate lawyers. It's all gone through then, doesn't it? And that it's not, it's just like buying a house, except that you're not actually, the money doesn't come from anybody but Raffle. So it all goes that way. Yeah. But that's all very straightforward and easy to, to understand from your side of things as being the hosts. Yeah. It's fantastic. Right. Well, that's been wonderful to hear. Let me just see if I've got anything else I need to ask you. I know I was going to say. So to any of our listeners out there who are thinking of doing this and becoming a host on Raffle, especially if they were going to raffle a house, what would your advice be to them?
So my advice anyhow would be that it's a brilliant platform, but it's you have to work hard at it to make sure
be prepared to put in the hours to sell the tickets.
Yeah.
People think that they'll sell themselves, but they don't. You have to push it.
Yeah, there's loads of work in the background. Like we contact so many people, like, and even people that didn't message, but I was at a stage, I suppose, even on Instagram, I was contacting Conor McGregor here, it'd be huge, huge boxer, because you just don't know, like, if the chances of him coming back, could be, he could come back, of course he could, and he could share the story for you, and then all of a sudden it spirals out of control. Like we had a friend of ours contacted RTE, which is the news producers here in Ireland.
The
national news, yeah.
News.
Wow, yeah.
We featured on the 6 o'clock news, the story of us selling our house. So yeah, and that's what kind of sold it for us.
Yeah, we saw 11,000 tickets that night. So that just puts it into perspective, like how quick it can. If you have a big follower that will share your story for you, it makes a huge difference.
Yeah. So you can literally just watch the Raffle site and see the tickets being sold and go, we're nearly there. Oh gosh, are we going to make it? That must be really exciting.
Oh yeah,
it is. Yeah. We didn't sleep the night when we were so close to the 40,000, just in case we sold out overnight or something.
Yeah.
Oh, that is fantastic. Well, I have to say, it's so nice to talk to you. I'm so pleased at this. What a wonderful result you've had from using Raffle. I really, really am.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, this has been an absolute pleasure to speak to you. I'm so thrilled that it all went so well. And thank you so much.
And thank you. Great stuff. Thanks for meeting you.